welcome back to Going Public. Man, where has time gone? I know my last video literally, I think it's been about, I don't want to say a year, but I think it's been a year since I've uploaded a video. And guys, so many things have happened. Some good things, some bad things, the good, the bad, the ugly, all has taken place. But I just want to thank God this today because I'm here, right? I made the 2022. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna make it. There were some times where I woke up and I'm like, oh God, I'm alive, thank you. And some days I'm like, oh God, I'm alive. And I had to ask for forgiveness for that because, you should always be grateful for being on the wake up list. And I made it to 2022 and I'm grateful for it. And, with this new journey, with this new lifestyle that I've taken upon, with just me going public, I really wanted to just shift my channel. I wanted to shift the direction, right? It's crazy because God will give you something and you won't really understand, or it won't even make sense to you until He puts you through all the trials and the tribulations and everything that He will put you through for you to understand. And why do I say that? Is because literally in 2016 is when God put Going Public into my spirit, right? I started the YouTube channel. I started posting here and there the testimonies. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you guys are more, aware of how my channel was going before, right? And I had the title Going Public, never really understanding the reason why God wanted me to go public. What did it mean? I didn't even personally know myself what going public meant, right? So I just used it. I used it on my social media platforms. But now in 2022, after going through what it is that I went through, I'm going to share with you guys today, I really realized the purpose behind going public. I truly and strongly believe that God wanted me to go public because He allowed me to go through things in my life that He wanted me to share. I always say, that God will not put you to something that He feels like you are not capable to go through and to be able to testify about it later on. And I personally believe that I'm one of those people. I'm going public today because I have a story. I'm going public today because I'm young. I'm going public because I feel like my story not only is relatable, but my story is able to change someone, right? So with that being said, we're gonna tell my truth. As you guys can tell from the title, we are going public in 2022, period. We're gonna talk about something that's dear to my heart, which is my husband, my marriage, the lifestyle, the wife, that W word, the wife, that is a big role. Being a wife is not an easy role. My spiritual father always tells me that marriage is not for children. You have to be mature to be a wife. You have to be mature to be in this union called marriage. And when I first decided to say my I do's, I didn't really understand. I didn't grasp the meaning of marriage. When your significant other gets on one knee and asks you to marry them and asks you to, spend the rest of their life with you, I don't know about everybody else, but me personally, I was looking at the wedding day. I was looking at, oh my God, my wedding colors and what date are we going to do it, what venue, and how many flower girls, how many bridesmaids, where we're going to do it at, my dress. I was never thinking about the after, thinking about what's going to happen the day after you guys walk down the aisle, what's going to happen a week after, a month after, a year after. You know what I mean? It's something to really think about. And my experience has been interesting. My experience had some good times. It had some bad times, and I'm still here. This year we'll be celebrating 7 years, and I give thanks to God because I didn't think I was going to make it 2 years ago. I really thought that either I was going to kill him, he's going to kill me, or something worse, right? So I'm here to tell my truth. But before I go deep into everything, before I go into the downside of marriage or whatever I went through, I want to bring you guys back to the beginning, back to the story of me and Joe, the story that I always call Romeo and Juliet. Everyone has their stories, and I just think that God has blessed me enough to be able to give me a platform to be able to tell my story so I can encourage a young woman out there. It's not a disclaimer. This is not a video to bash anyone's marriage. It's not a video to talk about anybody's marriage. I'm talking about my own. I'm going public today to talk about my marriage, my experiences, my downfalls, my strengths, my weaknesses, and what it is that I went through, what it is that helped me to get through what it is that I have gone through, and helped me to be the woman that I am standing before you today. Going public is a big thing. I know there's gonna be people out there in my comments, in my DMs, sending me messages telling me you should have never said anything, you should always cover your marriage, you should always protect your marriage. I'm protecting my marriage, but I'm also saving somebody else's by telling my story, all right? Let's not preach it, you know? So let me take you guys back to 2011. Oh man, 2011 was a very interesting year. It was a crazy year. So I graduated in 2011, and at the time, I was already having the mindset, I was already preparing myself to go to college out of the town. It was maybe like 4 years. It was maybe 4 hours away from where it is that I grew up and where it is that I went to college. So I got accepted to SFA, which is Stephen F. Austin University in Nacogdoches. And I was excited to go. I was like, you know, I'm gonna get ready during the summertime. I'm just gonna enjoy myself, enjoy my family, enjoy my friends, enjoy everybody around me, because I'm gonna leave off for college in August, you know, and I graduated in June. So that was just the mindset that I had. I didn't have a mindset to meet Joe. I didn't have the mindset to, you know, to get in a relationship. It was never in the works for me. So I graduated June 6th of 2011. And on June 26th, I remember going to a wedding. It was my aunt's wedding. I didn't want to go. I wasn't going to go that day. I never planned on going. But my mom called me and was like, y'all have to come, whatever. We went to the wedding. When I did go to the wedding, when I went to the wedding, I remember sitting at the table with my siblings, and a couple of my friends were there. And at the time, Joe was a photographer. So he was a photographer for the wedding, and he came to our table, took our pictures, and I was like, you know, I don't date Congolese men or African men in general, but if I had to choose somebody, that could be Zaddy for sure. That's why you have to be careful, because what you say can come to pass. But always be careful what you say, guys, because I didn't know that me just pronouncing that word, just saying, you know, like if I had to marry a Congolese guy, it would be him. You gotta be careful, not knowing that it was gonna be him. So I was like, okay, he's cute, okay, you know, I don't do Congolese man, but if I had to, okay, that would be Zaddy, right? So the night went on, you know, the party was going through, whatever, and I remember getting bored, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go outside with my friends, we're gonna go take pictures, you know. At the time, only Facebook was open, Instagram was not there yet, so I was like, okay, we're gonna go out there and take pictures. We were taking pictures, you know, enjoying the party. And I remember him walking up to me and wanting to take our pictures. He's like, you know, I'll help you guys. Let me take y'all's picture. We took our picture. After that, he pulled me aside, you know, trying to spit game, you know, asked me for my number. I didn't give him my number. Asked me if he can see me. I declined. I'm like, you know, you're sweet, you're cute and all, but honestly, this is not going to go anywhere because I'm moving literally in like 45 days, and I'm not planning on coming back to Dallas for a while. I'm just going to start my life in Nacogdoches and, you know, see what my future holds for me in college. You know, he kept being persistent and keep insisting, and I'm just like, no, I'm sorry, shut it down. You know, you got to play hard to get. But luckily for him, he was friends with my cousin. They were all in the same Christian band together. So, you know, push came to shove. He was able to, you know, finally get in contact with me 2 weeks later. Finally went on our first date. And then from there, like, it was history, you know. We went on our first date, and maybe like 2-3 weeks later, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. And because God is interesting, I ended up not going to Nacogdoches. Something happened to where I wasn't able to go to college that semester. I had to wait off on the semester. So I had to stay in Dallas, which was happy. You know, he was happy because I got to stay with him. And our relationship started from there. You know, we started dating. That was 2011, 2012, 2013. My father passed away, and he was there for me. You know, at that moment, I was like, this is the guy. You know, we weren't thinking about marriage. We weren't thinking about, you know, we never talked about marriage. Well, maybe we did here and there. Like, he would say like, I'm gonna marry you one day. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna be your wifey for sure. But it was never something that we planned on. Like we never set a date like, okay, we're gonna go meet my parents, or we're gonna, you're gonna propose on this day. I never even expected him to propose in the time that he did. So 2013 ended, and then 2014 we're still together. And then I remember his birthday is in December, so December 2014 I was planning like a surprise birthday dinner for him with all his friends and family and everything, not knowing that as I'm planning his birthday dinner, he's planning my proposal on that same day, right? So December 2014 he proposed to me at the same hall that we met at, in that same ballroom. He was able to rent out the ballroom. My family was there, friends were there, his family was there. He proposed December 2014, and we got married July 2015, so only 7 months in. And this is where I really believe that, this is where I will say, ladies, you have to prepare yourselves. One of the mistakes, and one of the things that when I look back now and I ask myself, where did it go wrong? I'm going to start there. A lot of us, like I said in the beginning, when it comes to the proposal time, once he proposes, I feel like a lot of us women, especially in my generation, because like when I got married, when he proposed to me, I was 22 years old. Okay, when I walked down the aisle, I was 22. I was turning 23 the week later, so I was very young. I didn't really know what it was to be a wife. I'm not gonna sit here and bash anyone and say, oh no, I didn't get the right guidance or whatever. But in all honesty, I didn't seek the right guidance. I truly believe, and I stand by this 110%, ladies and gentlemen, before you walk down the aisle, you have to be prepared. You have to know what it is to say, I do. What you are saying yes to. Not say, okay, do you take so-and-so to be your lawfully wedded wife or lawfully wedded husband? You have to understand what you are signing up for. It is not just the party that's going to happen after you walk down the aisle. You're going to jump, you're going to cut the bouquet. Not cut the bouquet, you're going to cut the cake, you're going to toss the bouquet, you're going to, have your toast. But once you get into that home, it's just you and him. And that's where I feel like me and Joe went wrong. We didn't really understand the meaning behind marriage. We were ready for just the wedding day and just being together forever, not knowing that, there are obstacles, there are trials, there's tribulations, there's downfalls, there's ups and downs. When we say for better and for worse at the altar, we don't understand what we're getting ourselves into. Like I said, I was 22 years old, guys. I was 22 years old. I didn't know myself. I didn't know who Betty was. I didn't know my purpose. Yes, I had a relationship with God. Like if you guys go back, on my previous videos and watch my personal testimony, I gave my life to Christ officially and truthfully in 2012. But in 2015, it's like everything went out the window. It's like everything crashed. Yes, I was praying for my marriage. Yes, I was fasting for my marriage. Yes, I did take the time, but did I seek the right counsel? Did I seek the right assistance? Did I choose the right godparents? Did I choose the right counselor for us before we set our I do's? Did we take our time? Did we really meditate and do our homework when it came to the marriage? No, we did not. So I'm really advising my ladies out there, if you have not gone through the stages of saying I do yet, you have to do your homework. Know yourself. Know who you are. I didn't know who Betty was. I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know what I was supposed to do in life. I didn't know what God had called me to be on this earth to do. I didn't know. At that moment, I thought I was supposed to be a wife and just be happy and to live with Joe and just be, live happily ever after. Not knowing that, there is Betty, there is Joe, and there is our marriage. If something were to happen to him, if I would have died, Joe, who was Joe? If Joe was supposed to die, in the marriage, who was Betty? What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to just sit there and because he's gone, your life is ended? No, there is a purpose for you. Before I am Joe's wife, I am this, I am that, and I am that. And I had to find that out in the marriage. But I really pray and wish, I really wish that I would have found that out prior. And I feel like if I had known that before and known who I was before, I feel like a lot of things would have been different, right? And that's why I'm here to help somebody out there. So we got married July of 2015. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people will ask, when did you realize? When did you ask yourself? Do you feel like you made a mistake? And for a lot of women, it could be a year after, 5 years after, 10 years after, 30 days after. But if I can be truthfully honest, the light bulb hit me 24 hours later. Isn't that crazy? Literally the day after we got married, I got in my closet and I cried. And I said, God, oh my God, I'm his wife now. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Are you sure this is what I'm supposed to do? Are you sure this is what I'm supposed to be? The day after. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nothing crazy happened. It's not like, oh no, something, boom. It was literally like a light bulb that hit me the day after. And at that moment, I'm like, I can't do anything. We literally signed our marriage certificate. We literally went to court already. We literally, for my African people, we have already paid the dowry. We've paid all this money, and I'm his wife now. And I don't want to be his wife. Literally 24 hours later, I didn't want to be his wife anymore. And it was crazy. It literally had nothing to do with him. I think it was just me, myself. I think, the light bulb, like I said, it just turned on. And that's when I was like, oh goodness. And year one, I will say, was a good year. A lot of people say their toughest year is year one because that's when they're getting to know each other and living with each other. But honestly, for me and Joe, I'm going to say that year one was a good year. It was an interesting year. It was a testful year because it's like everything is stripped away from you. From me, for us, for our example. It's like everything was stripped away from us. We had good jobs prior to getting married, and literally 2 weeks before our marriage, 2 weeks before our wedding, I lost my job. The week of our wedding, he lost his job. So now we're going into this place. We've already, got our apartment with the mindset that we're gonna, furnish our apartment and do everything, once we get in. Let me tell you guys something. It's very funny. It's very interesting to look back at it. Me and Joe did not own our first piece of furniture until month 6 of being married. So we were literally just me and him. No jobs, living off of the money that we got from like gifts and from the money that was thrown on the dance floor. We lived off of that for the first 6 months. No bed, no couch, no TV. It was just me and him. And for me, I did love it because I feel like it created this bond between us two. It made me understand, made me really believe that he was my ride or die and I was his ride or die. That no matter what we went through, it was just the two of us. And I felt like we got to really know each other in those 6 months. And it was beautiful. The first year of marriage was beautiful. The devil wasn't really after us, 2015, 2016. The first year was great. But honey, when 2017 hit, 2016 was good. Yeah, 2017 is when, the things started to get a little crazy. If you guys have watched my previous video on the miscarriages, that's where it all started. I lost my first child in 2017. My first one in 2017, and I feel like that's where kind of like everything kind of started flipping over. In 2017, not only did I lose my first child, I started to gain weight, a lot of weight. And I'm the type of person who I've always been a skinny person. I've always been a petite person from since I was born till about, until I got married. I was always a skinny person. So not only am I gaining weight, I lost my child. Number 3, my hormones started acting up really, really crazy on my body to where it started to show up on my face. So I started getting really, really, really bad acne, severe acne, cystic acne. Everything was just taking a hold of my face. So now you're in a place where It's affecting your low self-esteem. It's affecting the way you see yourself. It's affecting the way you view yourself. You feel like you're not good enough to be a wife because you at this point now I've already lost 2 kids in 2017. It was back to back. You've had 2 miscarriages, so now you feel like you're not capable enough to be a wife. You're not capable enough to be a mom because you're not able to hold a pregnancy for as long as every other woman. Excuse me. Your weight is fluctuating, it's going up and down. At one point you're gaining weight, at one point you're losing weight, at one point you're gaining even more weight. And then number 4, your face is like, literally it got to a point where I felt like I didn't even notice this until now, looking back. It's like I had a mask on my face. It's like when I look in the mirror, it's like, this is not Betty. My acne was going crazy and I just sunk at that point. So the communication in the house obviously went down. I wasn't seeing myself as the Betty that I saw myself in 2011, 2012. I didn't see myself as the happy Betty. I was going low. Not only am I going low physically, spiritually, I literally hit I hit like a low point. My spiritual life died at that moment. In 2017, 2018, my spiritual life was dead. Yes, I was going to church, but I felt like I didn't have that personal relationship with God anymore. I felt like it was just me. I was just living just to live. I wake up in the morning, I was going through depression. Everything was just evil. Everything was, it was bad. And that's where I go back to when I say about the marriage, when I say that if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your reason to be a wife, your reason to be alive, your reason to be the woman that you are, you will die. You will slowly die. And it's a place where I don't wish any woman to ever be. I do not wish it for you. And I had to go through those low moments to be who I am today, right? To smile today. If you did follow me on social media, a lot of people now, they're like, oh dang, like the way you just, boom, you just blew social media. You're posting more, you're encouraging more. Let me tell y'all something. It's because of what I went through that I am doing what I'm doing now. Back in the day, 2017, you told me to be an influencer. 2017, you telling me to go out there and to do what I'm doing. I would look at you and say, child, please. Yes, I started my YouTube channel back then, but I think it was my escape, I started doing YouTube back then just to try to find myself. And that's where Going Public went, and that's where I got that Going Public name. Yes, I heard Going Public, and I didn't understand what the reason was behind it as I was going through all these things. But this is why I'm here now to tell you guys why I named my channel Going Public, because I am going public. So yeah, going back, I've lost the children. I've lost 2 children now, and then the last child I lost. So now I'm 3 miscarriages in. Me and my husband are at a point where, man, it's either divorcing each other or it's just staying where we are, where it was just dead. Either way, the odds were just not against us, right? At this moment, I don't want to say I was naive, but I was naive at this moment. Whatever it is I was going around outside of me, it's like I was blinded. It's like I didn't really understand everything and anything. So, sorry guys, I had to take a pause there because I don't want my emotions to take over in this video, but it was really hard for me. It was really hard to even think about or imagine the things that God allowed for me to go through in the first in year 2 through from 2017 to 2019. It shocks me those 2 years of what God allowed to happen in my life. So as I'm just depressed as can be, as I'm bigger, my weight is to another level, as I'm feeling low, God decided to open up my eyes to something. And this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. So stick around as we unveil and uncover and open up to my truth and where I am today and where I was. So stay tuned.